Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everybody, and welcome to a special Cliff Notes edition of the Half Hour Bullshit. You'll notice that this isn't running a half hour, and I'm about to explain why. First off, this is Daniel Richardson, and so me and Josh recorded this thing earlier this week, and I don't know what the hell happened, but when I went to go upload it, due to technical difficulties, the audio is just not there. Not sure what happened. Apparently I just recorded 30 minutes of silence. And I felt bad because Josh came in on his own, personal time. Dude has, like me, a full-time job. On top of that, this dude's touring full-time with his band. And so, in all good conscience, I could not call him back in just to record essentially a half-hour bullshit. So I'm just going to give you guys the cliff notes of what we kind of talked about. And, we'll just kind of go from there. And, again, sorry for the condensed version of a half-hour bullshit. Kick things off, August 5th. Bodies is coming out, and actually that's the day you're listening to this, hopefully. So we dropped this on August 5th. The basic premise there is a bunch of young adults throw a party, and they go into this one of their family members' abandoned mansions, I guess, and they throw this big party, and they end up playing this parlor game with deadly results. We both pretty much just said that this movie is not for us. He was a little bit more optimistic than I was. We established I'm just a grouchy old man who doesn't like this generation's films. He agreed that this personally didn't look that great, but he was more into this than I was. My biggest detractor, I don't like Pete Davidson. I don't get it. I just don't get his appeal at all. Josh liked the movie he was in, that King of Staten Island, but I hate Judd Apatow films, so I never watched it. No need to see it. Bodies. It just seems like, I don't know, this is definitely made for this generation, and that's fine. It is what it is. But just not for me. We're going on to August 19th, the film Beast, where Idris Elba and his two kids are out on safari. The Jeep breaks down, and they are hunted by a big-ass fucking lion. Me and Josh heavily disagreed on this one. He didn't even consider this a horror film. His biggest thing with this film was, he didn't think it was a horror film because, in his mind, animal attack movies shouldn't be classified as horror unless you're Jaws. He thinks this was thriller at best, and I think he was mad that we didn't put another film on the list, which I'll get to. But he wasn't too big on this one. Personally, this is the movie of the three that I really want to see, because this to me is just horror boiled down to its bare bones. It's just basic plot. Jeep breaks down, giant lion trying to kill you. I'm down for that. And plus, I love Idris Elba. Idris Elba? Is that his name? I can never... I don't know this dude's real name. Mr. Elba. I love this dude. His acting, I think he's going to be great in this. And looking forward to this one. So, Beast. And then August 26th is The Invitation, where this woman falls in love with this guy, and then when she kind of finally marries him, it turns out that he's part of this dark secret society or some shit. This one did nothing for me. The only thing is they're going to be vampires or a form of vampires or just some form of flesh eaters or some shit. And it just seemed to me, I was getting heavy Ready or Not vibes just based on the look of the film. Or the vibe of, kind of an outsider mingling with these regal, blue blood, aristocratic, people. And then it turns out they're harboring a dark secret in this case. And like I said, at the end of the trailer, you hear some kind of slimy fucking thing. So I don't know. I don't think they're going to be straight up vampire. I think they'll be more creatures that eat flesh or some shit. So I don't know. Wasn't really into this. I think this was the one that Josh said of the three he was more looking forward to. And he found it a little bit more intriguing than I did. He also stressed that I was giving the bare bones of this away, and it was more about she finds out she has a cousin or a brother or some shit, and that, turns out that through him, she meets this guy. So I apologize, Josh. There you go. There's the full Monty right there. So anyways, yeah, that was those three. And actually, during this episode, we kind of glossed over these three movies pretty quickly. In fact, we were kind of filling time at the end of that half hour, which is something rare for us. We normally get cut off by the clock, but this is one of those rare times we were able to kind of And honestly, of the three films, we kind of dismissed all three of them. Like, as much as I want to see Beast, there wasn't really a whole lot of talking points to it. And I think the same thing can be said for him in The Invitation. Even though it was the movie he wanted to see the most of these three, he didn't have much to say on it at all. The movie he was really wanting to talk about that I just didn't put in there, I should specify, I guess. I didn't really explain this then. Whenever I get these lists to talk about, I just go to IMDb, look at the month of the upcoming movies, and I only put the movies down that have horror in the genre subtitles. And the Fall, the movie I'm talking about, was just listed as a thriller, but Josh, made the argument that that's way scarier than anything that we had on this list, which I guess he's terrified of heights. The movie Fall is about two girls who are climbing a giant tower, and then the ladder breaks off and they're stranded on top of the tower. And I'm not saying, and of course he was just like, he was on the edge of the entire trailer. I'm not saying it was a bad trailer. I'm just saying my two biggest things was, I've already seen this movie once in the form of a film called Frozen, where three college students get trapped on a ski lift at a ski resort, and they're stuck there for the whole week or whatever. And so not only are they, trapped up there in the blistering snow and it's getting cold and they're getting frostbite, but, it's a huge drop, and then there's wolves down there. His thing was this tower is a lot taller than the ski lift, which it was. And he didn't say this, but I guess it's kind of implied. The heat is another element here that's at play. My whole thing was, that movie was an hour and 20 minutes. This thing's almost 2 fucking hours long. Go fuck yourself. I'm not watching this movie with a lot of stupid backstory, blah, blah, blah. If it's not just I don't know. Why does that have to be that long? But anyways, again, I'm a cranky old man who wants to watch short films. So anyway, so that was that. But he really wanted to see that. In fact, of all the movies we mentioned coming out this month, that was the one he was actually really wanting to see. So I'm sure he'll let us know next month how Fall was. And then we talked about Nope. And unfortunately, I haven't seen it yet. He has, but he wasn't a fan of it. Actually, he said it was okay, but he wouldn't say it was good, so he gave it a kind of an okay thing. Without really giving anything away, he just said it was just not the film that he thought it was going to be, and he really just thought it could be better. And he felt, and this was just his opinion, that it felt like there was some studio interference at the end of it. He felt like more studio execs had their hands in this thing. And I said, it probably is true, because the first two films he did, Jordan Peele I'm talking about, Get Out and Us, were fairly low budget. And I think they were just straight up Blumhouse. I think this is actually Universal doing Nope. So I don't know. But it did feel like more like a tentpole mainstream movie compared to his other two. So he's probably right. There probably was a shit ton of interference maybe. And again, I haven't seen it. I really want to see it. I guess he was more anticipating some kind of crazy twist, and it plays more straight through, he said. And like I said, he was not a fan of it. I'm still looking forward to it. I want to see it. So that was pretty much it. The other thing we did kind of touch on, I guess, during this episode is we were shooting some scenes for his upcoming short, The End, and which I say short, this dude has expanded it, because it really started out as supposed to be 10 to 15 minutes, and he was already kind of stretching out of that anyways. And then just kind of as the journey kind of took it, we took it out of the anthology series it's supposed to be a part of, and it went become its own thing. And then from there, he expanded it. And then he's expanding it now. Like this guy, I mean, he's going to have a movie on his hands. I can almost feel it. But yeah, we did some shooting of that. It was a great day of shooting. Like I said, we really got a lot done because not only that, he was shooting on my short, or one of the segments I'm shooting in my upcoming series of shorts. And then he did this podcast, but unfortunately this podcast is the only thing that got tarnished of that. But I guess of all the things that you'd want to fall through, it'd be the podcast and not the footage that we shot. So, and then we both were just really thrilled that, the last podcast we did had 2.5 thousand plus listeners. And so, we're really glad that, you guys are coming along, you're listening to this, he wanted me to make sure to drop don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Just all the stuff you do on YouTube, do it to these videos. And engage. We really want to hear what you guys have to say. Maybe you got some questions or some topics you want us to talk about. By all means, drop it down below. So, I want to apologize one last time for giving you this weird condensed version of a half-hour bullshit. You got a third? No. You got like a 6th hour of bullshit. And so I apologize for that. Anyways, so yeah, on behalf of myself and Josh, thank you for listening. And yeah, we'll catch you next month.